They really can. All right, Lucille's in the front, so I'll talk about her first, even though you can't, she has not surfaced, but she is leading the way underwater. She is 13 years old. She'll be 14 in June, actually. She's what is called a failure to thrive. She stranded as a pup off the coast of Maine when she was very young. There was really nothing wrong with her except that she was extremely underweight. And so they did bring her into a rehab facility in Biddeford, Maine. They fattened her up. They kept her for a few months, and when they thought she was stable, they sent her back out into the wild. So Lucille was a success story for 17 whole days. 17 days later, she ended up on a beach off the coast of Cape Cod, which is right here, actually further out on the Cape, over in Wellfleet. She had traveled about 100 miles, and she apparently had not eaten anything. She lost all the weight that she had gained in recovery. So now she was very, very underweight, and they knew that she would not survive in the wild. She was deemed what's called a failure to thrive, which simply meant she didn't know how to feed herself or wasn't able to feed herself in the wild. So the next time they did release Lucille after her rehab, it was here at the Woods Hole Science Aquarium, where she has been ever since, and here's Lucille over here by the ramp. You can see that she's doing fine here. She is not underweight. She hasn't been underweight since she's been with us. As a matter of fact, right now she's on a bit of a diet. She's put herself on it. What happens is these two harbor seals do live with us all year round. The harbor seals out in the wild love cold water, as do Bumper and Lucille. So when it warms up, if it ever does warm up, they will be moving north for the summer, and they'll end up on the Maine and Canadian coast. Whereas Bumper and Lucille aren't able to do that. What we do here is we chill the pool for them in the summer, but we can only chill it down to about 60, 58 degrees. So they do lose their blubber in the summer, and they put on some blubber for the winter. So right now Lucille's in her mode of losing her blubber a little bit. She will drop about 15 or 20 pounds for the winter, and for the summer, and that will be healthy for her. So she's not eating quite as much right now. Same with Bumper, actually, but Bumper pretty much eats anytime, even though he also will be losing a little bit of weight for the summer. I guess we all kind of do that here, right? We don't mind weight. We just put on the weight and take it off again, or put on the weight and put it on again. It depends. All right, so let's move on to Bumper. Speaking of little guys, he is 8 years old, and he comes to us from New York. He comes from the south rather than the north. He also stranded as a pup, but in his case he was attacked by a shark, so it certainly wasn't his fault. He had severe wounds to his chest, abdomen, and side, and his rear flippers and his tail were almost totally severed from his body, so he was in very rough shape. He washed up on a beach and was there for about 3 days before he was discovered and rescued. And in that time he did rub sand in his eyes. He became extremely dehydrated. He came down with systemic bacterial infections from his wounds. And so when they did get him into the rehab center, they had to treat him with massive doses of antibiotics to try to save his life, which they did do. We're playing. And in that time, as he was healing, his eyes turned from a beautiful brown color like Lucille's to the opaque whitish blue color that you see when he does open his eyes, which he'll do in a minute. When he comes over to the beach especially, you'll see. And the reason they have that color is because the corneas of both of his eyes are actually scarred. Bumper became blind during his recovery, and that's why they couldn't release him into the wild. You can see he has full use of all his flippers, so he would have been released back into the wild if they were able to save his sight, but they couldn't. So it's not too bad for Bumper, actually. You can also see that he's having no trouble navigating in the pool. He never bumps into anything. He never has bumped into anything. And that's because of the wonderful whiskers he has on this. There you go. You can see all those whiskers sticking out, and he does move them around. They are actually tactile organs. And with those whiskers, he can sense very fine pressure changes or motion in the water. He knows where they're coming from, what direction, how intense they are, and it sends signals to his brain so he can essentially see a picture in front of him of what is in front of him. Right now it's Lucille, and he will keep following her around the pool. He loves to do that. So Bumper can actually retrieve a ring. He can hunt down live squid. He knows where all the objects are in the pool, has no trouble navigating and getting around. He would have trouble seeing a shark coming from behind. He would not see it. And so his life expectancy would be very short in the wild, and that's why they did release him here at the Woods Hole Science Aquarium. So we're very happy to have both Bumper and Lucille with us. They help us in many ways. They help to educate the public so that you can see how smart harbor seals are, what they're capable of, and what they can do. It's also fun. Got to admit, it's fun working with them, and it is fun watching them. They have each other, and they actually have a very enriched life here. We make sure that they have an enriched life here at the aquarium so that they are always happy and healthy, and that's how we work things. So, a couple things you're going to see. Station closer. Hello. Okay, good boy, Bumper. All right, we have one seal with us. Might not have Lucille for a while, but Bumper, why don't you say hello to everyone? Can you talk? And that's what harbor seals sound like. Good boy, can you lay out? Thank you. A lot of people ask what do they feel like. They actually feel like a wet horse. They do have fur. They are mammals, just like you and me. That's good. Thank you. That's great. There's some of his scars and little hookers. They just barely meet. And a belly button. Hey. Good job. There you go. Very good. Can I see your tongue? Can you show me your tongue? No, your tongue. No, no, no. Can I see your tongue? Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you. I did like to sell this beautiful tongue. All right, let's brush your teeth. Target. Open. Oh, what a good boy. Oh, beautiful teeth. Wow. A little fishy smelling. Unlike the kids out there, Bumper gets to eat as soon as he brushes his teeth. Let's go for a walk. Lucille's going to take a nap. Okay. Come on. Eat. Eat.
Oh my God.
Good job. Harbor seals are called earless seals, but they're not earless at all. Touch. Right behind there, Bumper's ears. Good job. They are just underneath his fur. Sea lions have little external ear flaps like cats or dogs, but harbor seals don't. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for that. Can you spin? Turbo spin. And a boy. Yes. Nice. Thank you. Lucille. Hello. Can you say hello to everyone? Can you talk? Can you talk? No? She's thinking. She said maybe. Excuse me, Bumper. I'm going to go back and take that. Okay, Bumper does not go through the hula hoop. Lucille goes through the hula hoop. I will not go through the hula hoop. So, like I said, it's a voluntary program. So I will stop talking to the female here. Boy. Thank you. I love you too. Okay. Good job. Water. That was very good. All right, so you saw that Bumper uses all his muscles to get across the bridge. Unlike, again, sea lions can kind of walk on all fours. Harbor seals don't. Bumper's only 8 and he loves to blow bubbles. No, that's not it. Can you blow some bubbles? Good job. Good job. What a good boy. You're so good. There you go. There you go. One more down there. There you go, so I don't step on it. It's right under you. Back up. Back up. Oh, you got it. Good job. Great. High five. That was my fault.
Oh my God.
You did it. I didn't do it. But better than falling in. The water's only 50 degrees. Huh, I don't want to fall in. What do you say? Can you shake hands? You're doing so good. Shake. Thank you. That's great. Okay, we won't. Okay, so normally, sorry, but like I said, it's voluntary. So normally you would get to see porpoising, which is a natural behavior It's the way harbor seals get away from sharks. It's also a way that they love to play. They do go in and out of the water like dolphins do. Lucille is in charge of the porpoising activities. Bumper cannot do that without her. I love you too. He can't do that without her, so you probably won't get to see that right now, I'm sorry to say, because like I said, she's not participating, and so therefore I have to technically ignore her. That's part of my job. All right, Bumper, you're just a wise guy. Can you say hello again? Can you talk some more? I want you to talk. Talk. No, talk. Very good. Very good. You're getting it. You're doing so well. Okay, well, now you can clap. There you go. Just a little bit confused. It's also windy out here, and I think that's making a lot of extra noise. Good job. That was great.
Mira, dice que él fue uno de los fundadores de la ciencia de la
Good view for you? You like it?
Look at the turtle slide.
You like the turtle the best? I know.